All right, so now we will go ahead and start our station setup. So first we want to do is unpack all of our tools and implements. Before we unpack though, I do want to go ahead and sanitize and clean your work area. That's including your station and your chair. You can use some ship shape I'm using here. You can also use a disinfectant spray as well as another option. So we're just going to grab some paper towel here. We're going to wipe down our back stand here as well as our mat. Then we want to wipe down our chair. We want to be considerate of our clients. So we want to make sure we wipe the entire chair down. And then we want to make sure we wash or sanitize our hands before we move on. So I'm going to sanitize here. And now since we got our back stand area cleaned, our chair cleaned, so now we'll go ahead and start unpacking. So before we unpack all of our tools and implements, the first thing we want to do is we want to protect our, for sanitation purposes, we want to cover our work area. So we want to have two towels. One towel is just to place the items on, and the second towel we want to use to cover our items for state board purposes, because technically by our state board rules, we need to make sure that all of our implements and items that we'll be using is covered or in a closed container. So now we put out some of my other items, like some talcum powder, my disinfectant spray, also some of my hair products as well. As you can see here in our back stand, our station is a little tricky on setting things up because we have a smaller work area, but we make it work. So we have a neck duster, which is allowed here in North Carolina. But you do have an option if you cannot use a duster, you can always use a paper towel. So I got my different combs that I may use depending on what clients I have planned for the day. But I got my brushes and all of my different types of combs. And yeah, that gray one's a really cool one. That's a curved comb, really good for looking around that parietal ridge area. That's just wondering. So now we want to go ahead and put some of our clips out that we may need. Now I have a bag full of clips here. I just take out about 4 just to get started. If I need extra, I will pull out some extra. Then I have my guards as well. I like to keep my guards, especially in my case or my bag, keep them in the ziplock so they won't be all over the place. So it's kind of speeding up there. I like to put them in order, even though we know when we start cutting, it'll probably be all over the place. But initially setting them before we get started. We want to have all items covered up. Now going back to the other side, we're going to go to some of our other implements. Can't forget our clipper brush there for cleaning our clippers. So now we have our shears as well as our razor. We've got our straight shears and our thinning shears as well as our razor handle. So something I did want to point out about our shears. Sometimes students have difficulties when they go in the first time in their kit. They can't figure out why their fingers don't fit. Just in case you don't know, there are actually some inserts in here for your fingers. So if you have really wide or thick fingers, you just want to take those inserts out so they can fit better. So I usually keep that inside my shear case. Now all of our items are covered up. So this is what we'll do when we get started for the day. And we'll be state board ready. So now moving on to our tools. Remember, our implements, anything that's non-motorized. We'll go to some of our tools. So I got my blow dryer, which could be used not only just for blow drying hair, but to blow drying your chair, if it's loose hair. Then we got our clippers and our trimmers. All right. Any other items you may have, like cordless clippers, could fit in the drawer. If not, your cordless clippers, for example, here with this shaver, you can put it in the second drawer here, or you can put it up top, but it will still need to be covered along with your shears and your combs. So some additional brushes I had there. And then my dryer. All right. So now, speaking of disinfectant, this is our disinfectant solution that's on our back stand, giving kind of view on our back stand. We also got a sharps containers for any of our used razors. About time for a new sharp container there. So now, speaking of disinfectant solutions, let's show you how to properly change our solution. So first thing we want to do, we want to rinse this strainer here out. And we want to clean it off. I say rinse and clean it. We want to wipe it and we're going to set it to the side. So now we're going to pour out our solution. just rinse the jar just a little bit. This particular sink here is a little tricky here, so we're not going to be able to fill it up, but we'll be able to at least rinse it and get some of that extra hair that may be in there. We'll rinse that out. Then we can wipe it down with some paper towel as well, or a clean towel. All right, so now we got that set to the side. And we're going to go ahead on and move on to a larger sink that we have here. We're going to put some fresh water in. We're going to use cool water because warm water has a tendency to bubble up, so we're going to use cool water. And this particular jar does have a line. I went a little bit above it, but they do have white line that you want to really want to stop at, because you want to give yourself, if your jar does not have that line, you give yourself about an inch. You want to put about 1/4 cup of solution in here. This is the way we do it. So we do more, some do less. Need more to it, more than less. So then we want to rinse off the cup to make sure we clean that out. We don't want to have that measuring cup filthy for the next person. So we want to make sure we clean that out. Be considerate to our classmates. All right, so then we want to wipe down our jar. And another reason why I use cool water is if you have warm water, it will cause it to foam as well. So now, just before I start wrapping things up, I do want to show the proper way we fold a drape as well, and talk about where you can put your case. So you can put your case obviously in your locker, but if you do have some items in there like extra clips, stuff like that, other option you have, you can put it down in the back stand, right tucked in the little corner there, where you can put all your extra clips if you don't want to put it in the drawer, like so. In one of the drawers, you can always put it down in your bag or other items. I know students, y'all have tons of extra clippers and other items. So now I want to show you a proper way to actually fold it straight. So no popping the cape. No popping capes. It's not professional. It's not considered a custom. Just fly hair get all over the place. We don't want to pop the cape. So we want to hold it up vertically, then we want to fold it horizontally one time. And I like to fold it again vertically as well, leaving the neck portion out so it could be easy access. So when we want to drape our clients, it could be nice and smooth. It could be one smooth transition. Once you grab that neck area, then you'll be able to just swing it around. Just give it a little shake there. You don't need to pop it. Bring it across over the shoulders of a client if there was someone there, and we're good to go. Then we want to move it the same way we apply it. So again, I'll show you again. Vertically, one time. Horizontally, one time. Vertical again. Tuck it, as long as we got that neck out. That's just the way I like to do it. Everybody has their own way. Hope you enjoyed.